Hi, and welcome back to Andrew Gamero Coaching and NoPainAllGain.ca. Thank you so much for joining me today. You could be anywhere else, but you chose to be here, and I am truly very grateful for that. Today, we're going to be discussing resetting after disappointment. So, resetting after disappointment is essential for us to be able to keep going and make progress for our goals in life. Now, this spring of 2025 was very, very challenging for me. I had some big things I had planned for my business, and they did not go as I had planned. And the disappointment from that was just devastating. And I am still recovering from that and getting the balls rolling again. But so I wanted to discuss this. I wanted to talk about why this is so important. The business disappointment was monumental. And of course, there were other things in life that were going on that put more things into the mix. And I thought if I just kept going, kept on going, and kept focusing on the prize, that everything was going to turn out wonderfully. And in the end, it did not. I was only exhausting myself because I just was not giving myself room to breathe. So this is how I was able to come out of that complete collapse. I stopped doing social media posts regularly. I stopped recording. I stopped doing blogs. Everything just kind of fell to the floor. All the proverbial balls in the air that I'd been juggling, they all dropped. And I was basically just keeping the bare minimum going, providing for my family, helping my clients, but everything else to grow my business, it all stopped. So, but step by step, I was able to start the balls rolling again and to get back on track. So this is for all of you that have gone through this overwhelm and disappointment, and this is how I got things back on track again. Great expectations. So in the fall, I had purchased a number of courses on how to grow my business, on how to create courses, market them, sell them. Marketing and sales is not my forte. I love to help people. I love coaching people. It's I think what God put me on this planet to do, to be honest. But there is a side of things in whatever you choose to do for your career is in marketing and sales. And so when you get hired by a company, even when you're getting in the hiring process, you are marketing yourselves to your future employer to prove to them that you are the best person for that job. But when you're a small business entrepreneur like myself, you have to do more sales and marketing continually to let people know that you even exist so that they can hire you. And the sales and marketing is not really my forte, but hey, that's what education's for. That's what's learning for. That's what all these courses are for. So I found some courses, and these instructors, they're great at marketing. They just seem like foolproof ways to just really excel, to create a course and sell it and promote it, and they just made it sound like it was foolproof. So I'm like, okay, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to go for it. So I took these courses, took the time to actually, go through them, follow them step by step. I created a course called the Rewiring Your Brain Challenge. And from concept to release date was about 3 months. That would have been about January to March. I think it released in April. I'm recording this now in July, so I believe it did release in about April, May. But in that time frame, of course, life happened as well, which had me going in all different directions. And I was so excited about this course. It was something I was passionate about. I put a lot of love and effort and sweat and tears and all that fun stuff into it. And so when it failed spectacularly, I was devastated. And so all my perfectionist tendencies, my fear of failure and all the negative thoughts, they just came back tenfold. And it was overwhelming. And I just stopped. So why didn't it work? why didn't anybody want the course? Like, why did it, torpedo so badly? Well, it's all a learning curve, I guess. But as I mentioned before, it's sales and marketing wasn't my forte, and I had all these coaches and people around me, and those that I had taken the courses from, that convinced me that anybody could do this. If you just followed their formula, anyone can do it, and to just get out there and do it. So yes, I did it. I got through all my fears of failure and everything else, and I just did it anyway. And boy, did it stretch my boundaries. So the fallout from this was catastrophic for me. So yes, the item is still for sale, and I'm still promoting it, and I will just have to keep working on my sales and marketing to make it more appealing. But in the meantime, it was just, my feelings of not being good enough, my feelings of being a failure, they just grew exponentially, because I wasn't sure that what I was doing that I was doing it right. And so when it failed so badly, I just didn't know what to do. So once the big promotion was over and it went up to full price, I was exhausted and I was emotionally spent. My exhaustion from this was all encompassing, and I let one thing after another slide. My diet, my exercise, my posting of videos, one thing after another. I kept telling myself it didn't matter, nobody wanted it, nobody cared. All that negative thinking that I thought I had mastered, it all just went right out the window. All those demons I thought was past, all came back, screaming into the forefront again. Now, the result of getting off my FM diet and not exercising meant that I now had something else to deal with, because my FM roared back to the surface again and flared up into, into the nastiness that I haven't seen for years. So now, not only did I have to start building my confidence back up, start my business going back again, I also had to get my health back so that I would have the energy to do all these things. So every day of not posting, not exercising, cheating on my diet, they all took their toll. I became more and more angry with myself and saying the nastiest things that I would never say to anybody else, I started saying to myself. And so all the hard work I had done for my positive mindset, everything was just heading down the tube. And I knew at this point, I had to get back on track again, even one small step at a time. And when you're in this state of depression and just emotional overwhelm and exhaustion, I knew all the tools. I'm a coach. I know all the tools for getting your confidence back, for the positive thinking. My whole course is about rewiring your brain. I know how it all works. And I knew all the little steps that needed to be done to get there again. But finding the motivation to do that, there just wasn't any. The exhaustion was so all-encompassing. I knew what I had to do, but I couldn't get myself to do it. And that's when I remembered that, when it comes to motivation, if we waited in this world to do things only when we were motivated to do it, nothing would get done. Motivation, feeling motivated, is just that. It's a feeling, and feelings pass and change. So sometimes, as hard as it is, we just have to take that first small step and do it anyway. Because research shows if you will do something, no matter how much you don't want to do it, whether it's exercise or reading a book or doing research, studying, whatever it is, if you just do that first 5 minutes, it just becomes easier after that, and you're able to just keep going. But it's taking that first step and just starting for that first 5 minutes that can make all the difference. So deciding to reset after disappointment. So deciding to reset after disappointment can only happen when you decide that you want to. So there's that word again, decide. It's such a powerful thing. Nothing in this world happens unless someone decides to take action to do it. And that's what I had to do too. My mentor reminded me that it was my attachment to the outcome that had caused my depression and my incredible disappointment at the outcome. If I had looked at it from the viewpoint of, hey, here's something new to try, let's see what happens, can't wait to see the results, instead of the, wow, this is going to bring me in X amount of dollars and it's going to save us financially, which was what I was hooked on, that this was going to be the big breakthrough that brought money into the family and from my side, and that everything was going to be okay. And that's not what happened. It did not bring in the money that I was expecting it to, and basically at the time needed it to. And the disappointment was so overwhelming because it was all encompassing. It was financial needs that needed to be met that weren't because of this failure. Then all the emotional ties to it as well, that the word I just used, failure. Fear of failure is one of my biggest issues that I've been working through for the past 5 years to get through. And so then what I needed to do was to actually, instead of being so disappointed with myself and with the outcome, needed to switch that into being proud of myself for trying, for taking that leap of faith, for putting in the work, for trying something new. And I'm still working on it. I'm still working on the promoting and the sales, but there's a lot of mind work and thought work that has to go into it as well, into reshaping, neutralizing the disappointment, and then being able to start looking at it from a different point of view so that I can learn from what went wrong and what didn't work. So the next time I will have a better outcome, and it will reach more people, and people will be interested, and finding what will interest other people in the course that I offered. So but that has to come from a lot of internal work and getting my brain right so that I can start looking at the positive instead of just the negative. So when I was in university, I cross-stitched a cartoon meme. Back then, you would just have cartoons. Those were our memes before computers became the big thing they are today, and the internet and all that fun stuff. But it was on the wall at work, and it said, and I'll put a picture of it here, it said, "Don't ever give up." And I still have it on the wall in my bedroom, so that I pass by it every day. Every time I enter my room, I will see that. Don't ever give up. And it's that stork. I mean, if you can't see the picture clearly, it's a stork who's trying to swallow a frog, but the frog has got his hands around the stork's neck, strangling him so he can't swallow the frog. And so often that is how we can feel in life. That life is trying to strangle us with disappointment. But it's really important that, just like that frog, that no matter, even though it's looking pretty dark and pretty grim, that we don't ever give up. There's always a chance that we can break through, break free, and have a better result than what it looks like it's going to be. Pressing the reset button. So after a couple of months break, which is basically I took about 6 weeks to 2 months break, and just doing the minimum, doing what I need to do to get through the day, I decided that it was time to start picking things up again. So this is how I was able to press the reset button and get my life back on track. So there's no more beating myself up, no more admonitions for what I hadn't done, just picking up the pieces that I put down. So firstly, I would start doing one item at a time, one day at a time. Secondly, when I see it in my schedule, I will do it, not ignore it. Thirdly, I will intentionally brainstorm ideas for blogs and social media posts so there is no shortage when it's time to write. Fourthly, I will start journaling again to keep my negative thoughts at bay. And fifthly, I will make my FM diet and exercise regime a priority every day. This is how you press reset. Pick your priorities and make them non-negotiable. Choose 3 things before you go to bed at night that will get done the next day. Do those things and then congratulate yourself the next day when they are done. Start building momentum to prove to yourself what you are actually doing, so the things that aren't done yet aren't so scary. Allow God into your day, and when you get up and thank Him at night for bringing you through the end of the day, decide that you won't quit and just keep going. So if you need help resetting after disappointment, please reach out to me at Andrea at nopainallgain.ca, and I'll be more than happy to help. So thank you so much for joining me today. It really means a lot to me that you would spend your time here. So if you find this content helpful at all, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Even comment below. This shows the YouTube algorithm that this is valuable information that more people should see. And it's absolutely free. Just takes a few seconds of your time, but means the world to me. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now. So do you ever wonder, what is the point? Why does she have this channel? Why does she put up this stuff? Well, I happen to be a health and wellness coach, and I help people to break through the barriers that are holding them back in life. So I am certified in the Med Missionary Program, which is a diet and health program to help you get the inflammation out of your body, and really helps those with FM and chronic illness reduce their pain to basically nothing and get their health back, their energy back, so that they can enjoy their life again and be productive and be a blessing to those around them. I'm also a certified neurodivergence coach or neurodiversity coach, so I can help people with on the autism spectrum that have ADHD, high potential, or anyone whose brains just process the world around them differently than neurotypical people. And it usually only takes a few tweaks and just changes here and there, and a bit of education so that they understand why your brain works the way it does. And you can start to thrive in your life, in your schooling, in your workplace, with your friends. It really doesn't take a lot, and you can start to just thrive. But having a coach is so incredibly important. I mean, my coach, Trish Blackwell, I don't know where I'd be without her. She helped me through a very, very difficult time. With her help, I was able to get rid of my depression and anxiety, and I can help you with that as well. So if you have a problem with depression, anxiety, your confidence, I can coach you through that as well. So all you need to do is reach out to me at Andrea at nopainallgain.ca, and just email me and I will get in contact with you. We can set up a time and see if one-on-one coaching would be a good fit for both of us. And then we can get started, and we can start getting you back on track so you can achieve the life you've only dreamt of. So thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I also hope you understand how much God loves you, and that He couldn't imagine eternity without you. So that is why He put you on this earth today, so that you could become friends and be together and choose to be together for eternity. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.